I think that one of the questions I get asked the most is,
how can I think in English? Is it possible to think in English? How can I stop thinking in my first language and start thinking in English? Do you think it's possible to think in English if English is not your first language?
well, spoiler alert, it is. And I'm going to show you 5 things that will help you do that. The first thing I want you to do is to stop using Google Translate whenever you see a new word. It might even help you understand the meaning of the word, but the moment you do this, you create connections in your brain that you don't want. You don't want this new word connected with the word you know in your first language. What you can do instead is to Google the meaning of this word in English so you can create the right connection in your brain. Number 2, you definitely want to surround yourself with English, like as much as possible. So listen to music, podcasts, watch movies, TV shows, whatever you like. The more exposure you have, the easier it gets. Number 3, speak out loud. Practicing speaking English out loud whenever you can. Describe your day, talk to yourself. When you do this, you're actually training your brain to go straight to English when you want to say something. A little side note here, make sure you tell people in your house that you're doing this, unless you want them to think you're crazy. Number 4, force your brain to think in English. This one might sound a little bit challenging at first, but it's incredibly effective. What I want you to do here is to start actually saying your thoughts in English throughout the day. So when you catch yourself thinking in your native language, consciously switch to English. It's like a little workout, but for your brain. Number 5, whenever you're watching or listening to things in English, try to shadow, copy, or imitate people, like whatever you want to call it. But basically, whenever they're saying something, just try to say it with them. Don't even wait until they finish their sentences. Just try to say it as they're saying it. And number 5, practice, practice, practice. Like any skill, thinking in English takes practice. So try to do this every single day to engage with the language actively. Remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. So don't expect to see results overnight. Just be patient with yourself and keep putting in the work. So that's basically it. By immersing yourself in English, speaking out loud, consciously thinking in English, shadowing whatever it is that you're watching, practicing, and being patient with yourself, you'll gradually stop translating things in your head. Well, I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments if you ever tried something I haven't mentioned here, and tell me if it helped or not. Maybe you have something that might help people here. Well, thank you, and I'll see you next video.